the world, from the massive results we're having and different people are having. And, it's changing people's lives. And that's what our company's about, changing people's lives. And it's making a difference. And so I'm so proud to be working with Gary and the team and share this product in so many different countries. Gary, before you came on board, we have Sweden here, we have Turkey, we have the United Kingdom, we have Philippines, we have Dubai. We have just United States. Just like everywhere almost. It's just like going global is so much fun right now. But without further ado, let's talk about this. Our product here that we're representing, Black MP, is just like wow. And it gets more wow every single day. So let's do this. I'm going to highlight you, Gary, and put you on the screen here. Hang tight. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. I'm not very savvy with this, but there we go. I think that should have done it. There we are. You're on the spotlight. Mr. Gary Ferguson, welcome, and say hello to the team.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
All right.
Yeah,
there you go.
I hope everybody's been
you know how to do it. You know how to do it. You know how to do it with the love that we share here like that.
Right.
Gary,
no, it's great. It's good to be back. I really enjoyed our last session that we had a while back too. So I drew a lot of inspiration from all the joy and from all the determination that I witnessed from all of the participants and those who are using it across the world. Mel, you're doing a great job of just taking it globally. You're right, global is fun right now. And here in the States, we had a few months of where we could go out and take our masks off and go to the ocean and go to the beach and travel around. And I just got back from a 15-state tour in 12 days. So I was quite busy, but I saw some beautiful parts of the United States that I haven't seen in quite a long time. And I found out that I'm going to be a grandpa. I'm going to be a grandfather. So
raise it up for Gary on that, guys.
My son's having a baby boy, and I'm excited about that. That's a new adventure for me. I've yet to experience being a grandparent. So I'm looking forward to getting that and enjoying that. And I will tell you that my son lives about 2,000 miles away from me in the state of Iowa, in the middle America. And the very first thing that I did was make sure that my daughter-in-law, Brittany, was drinking black water and using the powders during her pregnancy. And I know we didn't talk about that much last time, but if you think about it, just from the common sense standpoint, let alone the actual science, a baby in the womb receives all of its nutrition from the mother, the umbilical cord in that way. So we want to make sure that, and I'll just use Brittany as an example. I want to make sure that Brittany is fully mineralized, in that her alkalinity is high, and that she's getting all her proper nutrients, so that the food that she provides for her baby is also full of minerals and full of nutrients that we need to make sure that the baby gets a start from the beginning, properly mineralized. And people don't realize it, that moms, they can be very low on minerals. They can be alkaline. There's a lot of things that they can be, and whatever they are, that directly impacts the baby. So my first effort was to make sure that she was mineralized. And I gave her a little alkaline test. She was around 5.7. So she was just a little bit on the low side. So I told her, make sure, and of course I check up on her and make sure that every week she's taking her black. So we want that grandbaby to come out healthy. And
we actually just recently had a pregnancy testimonial. I'll send that over to you, Gary, later today, but coincidentally, and just all the different results, from not feeling the morning sickness, and just all kinds of it's just coincidental, and I'll share that with you. So yeah, definitely.
That's fantastic. I'm a big proponent of making sure mom is healthy, and a big believer that it has a direct impact on the well-being of the child. Prenatal care.
Yeah.
It's really something that I think.
Well, Gary, let's start with this. Many people are just getting started on the product. They're new to the product. And, I believe this, and you probably believe the same thing, that this is for everybody, whether it's a child to a grandpa, at 85, 90 years, So let us know, why Black MP? Why should somebody be taking Black MP?
Well, it's got humic and fulvic, which we call acids. And the reason why they call them acids, why is it humic acid? Why is it fulvic acid? Well, they're not really acids. Acids is defined on a scale where pH balance is at 7. Things below 7, especially below 5, are considered acidic. But these minerals are so powerful in what they do. When they were first realized, they didn't know what to call them. So because they do so many wonderful things, they said that they call them acids in the way that they destroyed bacteria and viruses. But the truth of it is they're alkaline. They're high alkaline based minerals. And so why black water? Because what you're doing is you're taking these humic, and humic surrounds the impurities, and it doesn't allow them to attach to the host cell. We could talk about viruses. It does that. It'll literally pull the virus off the host cell and not allow it reattach. The virus can't reattach. It gets passed through the body. Fulvic is so small that it penetrates the cells of our blood. It gets into the mitochondria. It draws out the toxins that are already inside. So we've got a cleansing process and a healing process from the inside out. And that's for every single cell that reacts with the humic acids and the fulvic acids. That's the short side of it. It's a powerhouse of minerals. It's so strong. Humic acids are so strong. Like I said, they can literally rip a virus off of a host cell. And
wow.
And that's the thing. And then you get the benefits of the probiotics that are there. You're talking about improving your overall health. You're talking about, most diseases or viruses start in the gut. That's where they're received, and that's where they start. So you get good gut health with soil-based probiotics. It aids in the digestion. It prevents or it optimizes, I should say, our immune system. So you've got powerful humic, you've got powerful fulvic, and you've got these wonderful probiotics that are soil-based, and it's bacteria. It's good bacteria. Right. And I like to speak about the probiotics as superheroes. And I have a little thing here. You can see it's my little Captain America.
America.
These are actually my golf balls, but he's a superhero. Yeah. And probiotics, to me, that's our superhero. And so I make sure that I take it every day.
I like that.
And then one other thing, and I know this is huge. This is huge in across the globe, globally. Our product boosts enzyme production, which helps in the synthesis of sugars. So bringing your A1C down, I know, is critical, and fighting diabetes across the globe is critical. Yeah. And these two powerful molecules, this humic and this fulvic, are clearly one of the most naturally best tools and best weapons we can use to fight diabetes and to help synthesize the sugars in our body.
Wow. No, I mean, that's super there, right there.
So that was kind of a swath. That was kind of a swath. It wasn't one specific thing. It was kind of a general, how can this thing help? Well, what do you need? Because most likely what you need, it'll help.
Yeah. And let's get more into the features. Yeah, exactly. So let's get into that, the features and benefits, because, people are getting wild testimonials, and we have to kind of calm them down, because of course we don't make medical claims, and this is not a medicine, and we're not here to cure and prevent. However, people's bodies are waking up, their minds are waking up, people are feeling more alert. They're just feeling better. And then all the different testimonials that we have, why is that happening to somebody? Why are people having less pain, less inflammation? Why are they waking up better? What's going on here with that?
Whoops, I lost you. Okay, so you've got definite benefits, and then you have the may help with. Okay, so there's the science of what it definitely does, but then there's the testimonials and there's the anecdotal results that we're also seeing of things that it may help with. For example, we know the humic acids boost the immune system. We know that. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. We know that we bring more oxygen to the bloodstream through the humic and the fulvic process. We know that. That's a fact. What we're realizing is it also helps with inflammation. So because we're getting more blood or more oxygen into the blood, that's allowing our blood to travel faster. It doesn't coagulate as much. And so the blood pumping from the heart allows the blood vessels to travel faster through the body, and therefore, let's say get to the feet, your ankles swell up. Oh my gosh, I got to wear these different shoes. It's not your shoes. It's thick blood. It's coagulating blood. And so by having greater oxygen in the blood and having the blood travel faster and more freely, there's less inflammation throughout your body. So it's bringing fresh oxygen to areas where the white blood cells and the healing process is taking place, and it's rejuvenating that area. So it's like workers or soldiers that are going to battle against these diseases. And what the oxygen does is it continues to bring in reinforcements and fresh troops to continue the battle. And you don't get the inflammation, which slows down the healing process. We know for a fact that the electrolytes in our water or in our process, there's so many electrolytes in the humic acids that are brought to the body. The electrolytes are the energy. So we know that it boosts energy. It brings energy to the blood cells far more. And I like to tell this, there's a real popular sports drink that's been around for years and years and years. And whether you follow American football or you follow international football, which I call soccer, you'll always see this sports drink, which is designed to replenish the body on the sidelines of all these professional sports teams. And the one thing that is in that product primarily is sugar. They use sugar to boost a handful of electrolytes. 3 or 4 electrolytes is all you're going to get, but what you're going to get is that high sugar. And so that's bringing carbs to the table, which you need for energy. But the true lasting electrolytes, there's only like 4, where we have close to 100 electrolytes in every single bottle size of our black water that we have. Yeah. So the ratio of energy getting to the blood cell is far greater in our products than anything on the market. And that it's energy that allows you to operate while your body is bringing itself back to a healthy level. It's a powerful, most likely it's a powerful antioxidant. Why do we say that? The test studies that we're seeing as we're continuing our clinical trials, which are not complete, but early results, as they like to say, like I was sharing with you, how it rips the viruses off the host cells. That creates an environment where your body is stronger to fight off these viruses, the enzyme production, the energy.
That right there is just amazing. The way you visually explain it too is easy for us to understand.
Yeah. It's phenomenal. I'll just say it again. I love talking about ripping off viruses from the host cell. But what's important is there's a lot of things that might help pull that virus, or at least separate the virus temporarily from the host cell. but the humic acid surrounds the virus and is big enough and strong enough where the virus cannot escape. And that's where the real results you see happen occur, because once you get it ripped off, you're not allowing the virus to go back to the cell. And the cell could have taken damage from the virus, but because it's been ripped off, the oxygen that we're providing, all of the electrolytes, the energy, the enzyme production, the mitochondria gets restored. And these things allow the cell to rejuvenate itself. And in the meantime, that virus cannot come back, or that disease cannot come back and rejoin with the cell, and that the body can then pass it. And that's the amazing thing. And that's why the reaction, some people will say, man, I can't believe how fast this worked. And it's because it's an immediate process. The host cell gets attacked, the humic finds the enemy, rips it off and gets rid of it. And that host cell automatically begins rejuvenating right in the moment.
Wow. And then we got our superheroes on top of that.
Yeah, right. So then you got the probiotics to go down, because the alkalinity, which we really haven't even talked about, gets down to your stomach and neutralizes your stomach acids enough for the probiotics to get to the intestinal tract, where it's designed to put good bacteria in your body and have good digestive health and alleviate stomach aches. But it really makes,
that was my first result, was the digestion. But let me ask you this before we get into a little bit more on that part of it. I just got started last week, right? And I'm already loving the product. I'm waking up better. My digestion, right away, I got the effects. And I've got now 2 customers, right? And one customer is a 15-year-old kid, and my other customer is 85-year-old grandpa. Now, so I want you to share with everybody, why should my 15-year-old kid customer take this product? And then why should my 85-year-old grandpa friend that lives next door take this product? Those are my first 2 customers. I've got the 15-year-old and I've got the 85-year-old.
Okay. So the 15-year-old wakes up. Some kids, they take a half an hour to wake up. Other kids just pop out of bed. But by the time they get going, they're off and they're running, they're moving, they're grooving, they're nonstop. They're sitting around maybe in school, but they're focused in school. They're there to learn.
Yeah.
And so for that 15-year-old, these products, the way that they're designed to put minerals back in your body, things like magnesium, or things like selenium, or things like chromium or calcium, or all of these 70 minerals of different things, iron, and all of these benefit minerals, they are going to drill down that 15-year-old's focus in a classroom. They got to study, they got to stay focused on what they're doing. Being properly mineralized allows your body to function at its peak level, at a peak performance. So whether they're out on the playground running around and they need the energy, that's there through the electrolytes. Whether they're in the classroom and they're taking a test and they need the recall, that's there through the minerals. So that 15-year-old in its most youthful moment needs these minerals and needs these probiotics to stay healthy, to stay focused in school, and to have fun on the playground.
I like that.
An 80-year-old, right?
Well, let's finish with a 15-year-old real quick. So, no, that is great, because we're always concerned about kids and school, and how they're functioning, and are they at their optimal level? And I know originally the product was many athletes, whether it was high school athletes, college athletes. So even if the kid's not athletic, it sounds like they need this product.
Yes. No, it's getting the human body back to ground zero. So they sit in class and they're straining their brain because they're, whether or not they're paying attention, that's part of it. It helps you stay focused. It gives you clarity. You're not sitting in the chair falling asleep. Your body is mineralized. It's at ground zero. It's working at optimum performance which allows you to have that ability to mentally absorb all of the learning that you need. Your brain is full of oxygen. It's alive. It's vibrant. It's receiving the data, and it has the capacity to process it at the speed with which they're being taught. That's very important.
Yeah, I like that.
And you mentioned the fact that it's for athletes, but kids like to play on a playground, and they run around. And I remember, boy, I love to get out. I couldn't wait for recess, and I'd run as much as I could during recess. Then you come back into the classroom and you collapse in your chair. Well, a lot of kids, they don't pay attention after that because they're so tired and run down. Well, when you've replenished your body and you've rejuvenated your body every morning, you get back to the classroom and you're just still fresh and you're still ready to go, and you can continue and stay focused.
All right. So 85-year-old senior citizens.
70 to 80% of your immune system functions in your gut. Now, an 80-year-old's lived a long time, and they've enjoyed the fruits of their life. They've enjoyed the fruits of their labor, or they've had a tough go of it. Many have had a rough go. That's not always, the sun shines on the good and the bad. We know that. So by having an 80-year-old who's had a lifetime of adventure and just a long life, we have the opportunity to give them a great opportunity, a great advantage in the morning to have strong gut health, to begin the day with good gut health. Most diseases begin in a gut. An elderly person is not as perhaps physically strong, but we can provide a strength through these products that will give the body of an 80-year-old the same amount of strength to fight off a virus that the body of a 15-year-old has.
Wow.
Because the humic acid will pull off that virus. It will pull off that debilitating disease. It will pull off whatever that is that's causing the 80-year-old maybe to not perform right. It's getting the body back to ground zero, whether you're 8 days old, whether you're 8 years old, whether you're 18 years old, or even if you're 80 years old. Your body still functions the same way. And it may take a little longer because you're not moving as quickly, but that doesn't matter. You still need the energy. You're still burning energy even as an 80-year-old. So the electrolytes, the probiotics in the gut, the humic acid, the fulvic, detoxifying the cells and getting that impurity out of an 80-year-old's body gives them the opportunity to take the energy that they do have and put it towards good things instead of having to be constantly fighting about things that are pulling them down. So yeah,
that makes so much sense right there. And I like when you say ground zero. It kind of reminds me, my daughter came into my office yesterday and she saw a million browser windows open. And she's like, Dad, no wonder you're complaining that your computer is slow. What the heck are you doing with all those, And I was like, well, she's like, reboot. And so I had to reboot. And then all of a sudden my computer was going like really, fresh and fast. And it's kind of like rebooting your computer, I guess, restarting.
And Mel, I've talked a lot about the humic acid, but I want to spend a moment and talk about an 80-year-old and a 15-year-old with fulvic acids. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Fulvic acids do most of their work inside the cell. Now, why is that important? Especially, let's say, for an 80-year-old. Okay. The cells are not moving as quickly. The heart's not pumping quite as strongly. Let's say you've got a tired heart. Well, getting the fulvic inside their cells, inside the cell membrane, okay, it allows them to transport more things into the cell. It's a gateway. It's a portal for the energy that they need. It's a portal for the electrolytes. It's a portal for other supplements that maybe an 80-year-old is taking. Maybe they have a blood sugar issue, and so they're taking something like metformin. More of the metformin gets into the blood cell because the fulvic is cleaning out what's already there. You ever have to clean out your garage so you can put your car inside it, or you have something that you have to clean out so that you can use it for storage. Well, that fulvic is cleaning out all the impurities inside the cell so that the things that you're trying to provide the cell, it lasts, it's a higher, the fancy word is bioavailability. What that means is the absorption rate. More of what your body is trying to receive from a supplemental or even a pharmaceutical in times when it's necessary. Pharmaceuticals are designed to help. But if your cells are full of junk, then there's nothing, you're not going to get much of that pharma into the cell. So the fulvic cleans out your cell so that the bioavailability of all the other things that you're trying to accomplish, it's much higher, significantly higher. And therefore the absorption rate of what you're trying to receive is far greater. And that means that what you were hoping to achieve, you've got a much higher percentile of activity inside the blood cell as that's occurring.
Wow. 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 Hey, let's do this, Gary, if you don't mind. I want to bring on a couple of teammates to say hello and see if they've got some, thing to share or a question to ask. Let's pull some people on.
Yeah.
They'll share the screen with you. Let's see here. Let's add Mr. Fawaz Ali from the UK. I think. Let's see here.
Hey, I've met him before.
Okay,
right?
And let's see.
It's good to see you again. Cheers.
Let's add Don Joseph here. Let's see, Don. Let's see. Where are you? There we go. 1 second, guys. Actually, probably be easier to do it this way. Let's add a couple
Mel,
people. Yeah.
While you're doing that, let me tell you a little story about this bottle, everybody.
Sure.
Remember I told you I went on a 15-state tour for about 10 or 11 days. Well, I left it sitting on my desk, and I left it sitting like this. So if I were to test the alkalinity right now, I guarantee you it's at least over 10. The minerals are naturally alkaline, and therefore they don't fall off. The alkalinity doesn't drop. A lot of these waters that you're seeing out there today, they manipulate the alkalinity with some powders, with some bicarbonates and such.
Okay.
But if you leave it sitting around, eventually it falls and doesn't take long. Our water, whether it's 15 days or 15 months or 15 years, I've got products in the lab. Hey, Mel, I'll do that next time. Okay, yeah. I won't speak too much of it. I got some product in the lab that I'll show you guys next time. I'm going to leave it hanging. So
leave us in some suspense here.
Yeah. I'll share that next time. But go ahead.
Well, let's see. Fawaz, let us know if you've got any questions for Gary. How's the product? So he's in the United Kingdom, out there in Europe. So we've got the product out there in Europe. But Fawaz, say hello. Let's say hello to everybody. Or do I need to unmute you? Yeah, I'm sorry, Fawaz. I had to ask you to unmute there. 1 sec. There we go.
Hi, Chief. Thank you very much. Hello, Gary.
Hello.
How are you? Good to see you again.
Doing fantastic.
Good to see you again, definitely. And thank you for your time and for the exceptional knowledge that you keep on giving us every single time.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I'm just so proud that you guys are staying so faithful and true. It is a truth product. It will not do you wrong.
No, it will not. And we feel that in our own body, Gary. I mean, me personally, I'm just an addict for this product now. So it goes with me everywhere, at work, at home, in my breakfast, in my coffee, in my tea, just all over the place, really. And I feel the results 100%. And so do a lot of my teams, actually, who've been trying the product since the beginning of the year. So we're really, really thankful and grateful for you and for Mel for bringing this to us. We do have a question, though, from a colleague of ours who came to our presentation a couple of days ago, and he asked a specific question about animals. I think that's his field of employment, or he looks after animals, and he's heard about all of these things that we keep on saying about the product. So he has a specific question: will it work for animals? And I don't mean cats and dogs only. He talks about horses and camels and things like that. And I think he looks after farms. And he has his own business ideas going forward. So will it work? That's the question.
Okay. So up near where Mel lives, in a town called Lafayette, and I don't know, it's about what, 10 miles from you, Mel?
Yeah, about 10 miles.
There's a veterinary service called Alternatives for Animals. And we work closely hand in hand with that vet to provide minerals and nutrients for the various where Mel lives. It's kind of mountainous. There's mountain ranges, but in some of the canyons, there are a lot of equestrian stables, which is where they raise horses and different things like that. And we work with these equestrian centers in providing the nutrients that they feed their water. Next to us in Visalia here in the valley, there is a company called Western Milling, and we have been working closely hand in hand with them in providing the powder directly, the black powder more specifically, with them to add to various pet nutritional products, the meals, the feeds, the kibbles, such as that. So the short answer is yes. And in fact, emphatically yes, it works very well with animals. Think about it again. We're talking about natural minerals drawn from the earth, probiotics that are plant-based. What do you always see animals doing out in the field? Grazing, eating plants. The probiotics that we have are plant-based. The minerals that we have are from the ground. They're inside the ground. The things that God created for animals to feed on is what we're actually providing humans. And yes, it works fantastically. You will see a great amount of energy, I think, in the health of the animals, and especially in their blood. I know you said we don't talk about, you're not talking about dogs and cats, but dogs and cats especially are the ones that are normally taken to the vet and measured, in our society. And our dogs around here, the vets are always amazed at how young, as I can say it that way, their blood is. Why? It's because we're oxygenating the blood. And whether you're a human or an animal, it's going to help in every way.
Wow, that's really, really impressive, Gary. Thank you very much. Would you say there's a specific dose? I mean, how do they give it to the animals?
They don't have to have as much. That's the thing. If you're talking about a dog, I would say if you're going to, or a small animal, think about if I were to stand up, I'm 6'5". I weigh 210 pounds. Okay. So think about our dosage, what we provide for humans. Now think about I don't know, 30-pound fox, right? Not very big. Or now a horse, that's a different story. A horse, of course, as the poem says, is much bigger. So you'd probably want to double up the dose. A human dosage, you could probably double up for a horse and it'd be fine. But animals, it's only about 1/4 or 1/5 of the dosage that you normally need to provide for the animals. It's body weight, it's body mass. But, if you gave them a human dose, wouldn't do anything but just make them super healthy. I mean, if that's a byproduct of what you want, it's minerals and it's probiotics, it's bacteria, it's minerals. It will do nothing but help the animals.
There you go. Awesome.
Well,
thank you so much for that, Fawaz. Appreciate that. I think it helps everybody listening in as well, because, a lot of us have pets and animals and, know people that are in the industry that, and especially now that we talk about horses and stuff. So that's awesome. Let's bring in Cynthia. I want to, how's the product going in the Philippines, Cynthia? How are you?
Look at that. There it is.
For the new packaging, we're in love with it. Actually, I'm in a relationship with Black MP Living Powder.
Yes.
And now we have the B12 in there as well, right, Cynthia? So now you got the B12 in there as well.
It's a faithful partner. I will share that with you. It will never do.
So Cynthia, do you have any questions for Gary, and or you want to share any testimonials or anything you want to do?
Yes, Sir Mel. Sir Gary, if you're having an illness just like diabetes, high blood, inflammation, is it okay to place 3 scoops of MP black powder to 1 liter in the morning, and in the afternoon, another 3 scoops of black MP powder. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yes, absolutely. It is. These are organic minerals, so they're safe. There's no toxicities to them. They are minerals that your body normally would seek out in food. So what we're doing is we're just providing the minerals that perhaps you're not finding a way to get in your daily diet of nutrition. You can drink. I actually think that what you're doing is probably a very good process. When you have diagnosed or identified a medical need, I'm always okay with increasing the dosage so that you can attack the need in a greater way. Remember when we were talking about reinforcements, your white blood cells, your body surges to wherever it is that needs the assistance. Your immune system does it. So you're providing a boost to your immune system. So you're making your immune system more proficient and stronger. So yeah, I like your philosophy of increasing the dosage, and you can always pull back, but you know, excuse me, you're not going to go wrong. So having a regular regimen so that you get your body to ground zero and let it stay there is critically important. We take in things through our nostrils. You know, our nose is designed to sort of filter out viruses and things like that. That's what the nose hairs are for. Excuse the rough conversation there, but there's things that our body is designed to do to keep viruses out, but they make it in. And so when that happens, your body's ready to go. And by giving it an extra boost or to give it some reserve fighters, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Great question there, Cynthia. I also see our friend in Qatar. I'm going to pick on you, Waleed, if you can hear us. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Let's see if we can add you in here. Mr. Waleed, how are you?
Yeah, how are you, Mr.
Very good, very good. I saw you there. So Gary, this is out. We got the product in Qatar, believe it or not, all the way out to Qatar. I mean, could you ever imagine? I never thought we'd get product out to Qatar, but how are you guys enjoying it out there, Waleed? How's the product?
The product is very good, mashallah, in our Qatar and in our team. It's working very hard on that, and it's amazing product. It's very good for health and for all,
Yes.
for energy, for anyone. Anyone start this, they start to asking about that. We start to speaking about black and pea water anywhere. And many people, they start to have that we want to try that product to see what will happen, because many people, they heard about that, but he do not have the product in the hand in this time. But inshallah, we'll try to do any. Hope so that will be anything. It's okay. We send it for anyone. We leave it that people to try to know about that, what that black and pea water is. Very, I don't know what kind. It's amazing.
Well, I like it on your shelf behind you. I see it behind you by the trophies.
Yeah, I see those too.
Yeah. Every time I have here, all my family right now in that product, they working in that, they use it, that black and pea water, and inshallah, we hope so that they reach for anyone in this world, inshallah.
Yep. And you know, Gary, Waleed and I connected, and he's very connected in the sports industry and the World Cup. The World Cup is actually going to be hosted in Qatar next. And so there's going to be a lot of people flying into that country in Qatar for the World Cup. So it's going to get very exciting that we're going to have black MP all over the place. And Waleed and I were talking about how we can, you know, really promote it for the athletes as they get ready for the World Cup coming into their country.
I have a question. I have a perception of Qatar that it's a high sun, geography. It's a high sun. You have a high sky.
Hot. Yeah.
And I know it's hot. And so in that regard, my my thinking would be is that, perspiration is at a premium there. You're going to perspire a lot. At least I would. I sweat reading a book. So I think if I was there, I'd perspire a lot. And the thing that I would say about replenishing or hydrating, right? Hydrating is a big piece of keeping our bodies healthy and staying hydrated. And I like to say that we're the ultimate hydration drink. If you think about things that cause your body to dehydrate, remember we talked about the blood cells coagulating. So when blood cells get thick, they slow down, they don't pump as much, fatigue. So whether it's an athlete or just somebody walking down the street, staying hydrated is very, very important. Mel, I think the last time we were talking, I shared the percentages that even 10% hydration, 1% hydration loss is 10% energy in the body. So there are no sugars, right? Hydration, calories would cause the coagulation to accelerate. There's no artificial colors, so they're not putting any impurities into your body. There's no preservatives, so there's nothing to keep the body from absorbing everything there and not having a direct impact on the blood. And so this, again, the fulvic carrying oxygen to the body, to the blood cells, you can't get a better hydrating product in an area where you have such a high sky and high heat as would be in Qatar.
Yeah, no, that's so important because that whole region over there, Dubai, Bahrain, I mean, it's just that they need that. I mean, it's dry, it's desert, hydration. I like that.
And if you play golf, I think you would put Qatar on your bucket list. So if you're over here, you'd want to stay hydrated so that you could enjoy that bucket list adventure of playing golf in Qatar. I know it's on mine. It's on my bucket list. Someday I will play golf in Qatar.
All right, Waleed, it's your responsibility now to build a huge business, a huge network of Black MP moving in Qatar, so we can invite Gary out there as a special guest and put him on stage. Now that the pandemic starts to lift, we're going to have on-stage events around the world, Gary. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those. I know we'll grow.
For sure. So with that, folks, Gary, thank you so much for being here today. Lovely. This, we recorded it, so we have great clips that we can share with everybody. Great knowledge here, great information, inspiration, and just reinforces the fact that, in my humble opinion, this is the #1 health product in the entire world, and we've got it. We've got the ability now to share it with our neighbors, our friends, and our families, and go out there and change people's lives. So with that, everybody, let's show lots of love and appreciation to Gary Ferguson. Thank you for being here, buddy.
The choice is clear. The water is black.
There you go.